Okay, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now. Look at this, a plastic water bottle. Ordinary, right? You've used hundreds of these. You've thrown away hundreds of these. Now look at this t-shirt. What if I told you these two things are the same? Not metaphorically, not kind of. I mean chemically, molecularly, literally the same material. That water bottle you tossed in the trash this morning? In about 6 months, it could be fabric. It could be a shirt someone is wearing to the gym, to school, to a Nike store. Today, I'm going to take you inside the actual process, step by step, of how a plastic bottle becomes the clothes on your back. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you will never look at a plastic bottle the same way again. Let's go. Before we get into the science, let's talk about the scale of this problem, because the numbers are insane. Every single year, humans produce over 380 million tons of plastic. That's more than the weight of the entire human population every year. And most of it? It ends up in oceans, landfills, and the ground. Only about 9% of all plastic ever made has actually been recycled. 9%. But here's where it gets interesting. Fashion brands like Adidas, Nike, and Patagonia saw this mountain of plastic waste and thought, wait, we can use this. And that idea changed everything. Not all plastic is created equal. There are dozens of types of plastic, but the one that makes this whole process work is called PET, polyethylene terephthalate. Say that 5 times fast. I dare you. PET is the clear plastic used in most water bottles and soft drink bottles. You've seen the little recycling triangle with the number 1 on the bottom of bottles? That's PET. Why PET specifically? Because of its molecular structure. PET has what scientists call a linear polymer chain, meaning its molecules line up in a way that is heat-resistant, strong, and flexible. These are exactly the properties you want in a fabric fiber. Milk jugs, that's HDPE, different plastic. PVC pipes, different again. For making fabric, we need pure PET and plastic bottles. This is why sorting matters so much. So you throw your bottle in the recycling bin. What actually happens next? The bottle arrives at a materials recovery facility. Here, workers and machines strip off labels, caps, and any glue residue. Then, something really cool happens. An optical sensor system scans every piece of plastic at high speed. Using infrared light, this technology identifies the molecular signature of PET and separates it from other plastics automatically in milliseconds, thousands of times per minute. Clean, sorted PET bottles are then crushed and sent to the recycling plant. This is where the real transformation begins. At the recycling plant, the bottles are fed into industrial grinders, massive machines that crush the plastic into tiny fragments between 10 and 12 millimeters in size. These are called flakes. Think of them like plastic corn flakes. Now these flakes go into a water bath. And here's some clever physics. PET is denser than water, so it sinks. Other plastic contaminants? They float. They get skimmed right off the top. The PET flakes go through multiple wash cycles to remove any remaining dirt, glue, or chemicals. After washing, they're dried in industrial dryers until every drop of water is gone. What you're left with is pure, clear PET flakes, clean, dry, and ready for the next step. At this point, they look like tiny pieces of broken glass. Beautiful, actually. This is where things get genuinely mind-blowing. Those clear flakes are loaded into furnaces and heated to exactly 260 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt the plastic completely, but not so hot that it destroys PET's molecular structure. That precision matters. Here's something clever at this melting stage. Manufacturers add color powder directly into the molten plastic. This is called dope dyeing. Instead of dyeing the fabric later with water and chemicals, the color is baked right into the fiber from the start. Less water, less waste. Smarter process. The molten plastic is then pushed through a machine with hundreds of tiny holes, almost like a shower head. Each hole produces one ultra-thin fiber strand. This process is called melt spinning, and it works exactly like squeezing toothpaste through a tiny nozzle, except instead of toothpaste, it's liquid plastic, and instead of one tube, you have hundreds of holes all firing at once. As the fibers come out, they immediately cool and solidify in the air. But these fibers aren't ready yet. Fresh out of the machine, they're weak. To make them strong, they must be stretched. A series of rollers pull the fibers to more than 4 times their original length. This stretching aligns the molecules inside the fiber, making them incredibly strong, yet still flexible. At the weaving stage, two choices exist. Plain weave creates soft, lightweight fabric, perfect for t-shirts and casual wear. Twill weave creates stronger, more durable fabric. Think workwear or athletic gear. The crosswise and lengthwise threads interlace thousands of times per inch to form a sheet of fabric, but it's still not finished. Before any brand touches this fabric, it goes through a finishing process. Quality inspectors check every meter for defects. Machines trim loose fibers from the surface, and depending on the product, the fabric gets treated with special coatings, water-resistant treatments, wrinkle-resistant finishes, even anti-odor layers. This is what transforms recycled plastic fiber into fabric that feels premium, fabric that can compete with and often beat traditionally made polyester. Because here's the chemical truth. Recycled PET and brand new polyester are molecularly identical. Same performance, same durability, same quality. The only difference? One came from oil, the other came from your trash. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where the story gets powerful. Recycling 1 ton of PET plastic saves up to 7,000 liters of water and reduces 15 tons of CO2 emissions compared to producing new polyester from oil. Adidas launched their Parley line made entirely from recycled ocean plastic. In 2020 alone, they produced over 15 million pairs of shoes from recycled plastic. Patagonia has been using recycled polyester since 1993, over 30 years before it became trendy. And scientists are now developing technology to recycle PET multiple times without losing quality, meaning plastic could become a truly endless resource, recycled, remade, reworn forever. So here's the thing, you and I were not scientists. We're not factory engineers. We can't build recycling machines in our garage. But every single time you sort your plastic bottle into the recycling bin, you're feeding this chain. You're sending raw material into a system that turns waste into wearable, useful, beautiful things. That bottle in your hand right now, it could become a Patagonia fleece, an Adidas running shirt, a school uniform, a sports jersey. The process is real. The technology exists. The brands are committed. The only missing piece is you. So next time you finish that water bottle, think twice before you toss it in the general trash. Because that little action, multiplied by millions of people, is how we actually change the world. If this video opens your eyes, hit the like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people. And subscribe if you want more videos that make you see everyday objects in a completely new way. I'll see you in the next one.